best part about this trade, in my opinion, is they didn't give up any future assets. All they gave up was a 10th overall
Exactly.
pick.
Exactly.
All,
And
and
let me ask you a question. Did
yeah,
Houston finesse the Suns? Because how the
in
Suns
my
not come
opinion,
away
they did.
with any young players? None.
None. Besides, I guess Jalen could be considered young. He's only 23, 24. And obviously Dillon Brooks. But yeah, overall, they didn't give up much assets. I don't think the Rockets really had to. The Rockets didn't really have to dig that deep, which surprised me. I thought the Suns would at least require a draft pick or two. The
No,
fact all they have to give up was this year's pick is really impressive considering the Rockets, with
they
how their roster
they
is.
gave up a first, or they gave up a bunch
They
of
gave up the
seconds.
first of this year's draft.
The Rockets.
The Rockets gave up the 10th overall pick in this year's draft.
Okay.
But they didn't give up any future assets, which it makes sense, bro. You look at the Rockets rotation; they don't have any rooms to really play a younger player. Like last season, we saw Reed Shepard struggle to get minutes. Cam Whitmore has struggled to get minutes. It only makes sense to trade that asset away. But the fact the Rockets don't have to dig that deep into giving away anything is really impressive. I could look at it real quick. What the Rockets given up?
Yeah, they gave up two. They gave up 2 second-round picks,
Yeah.
one first-round pick. But at the end of the day, like, okay, so forget the little nitty ditty details, right? Let's get into
Okay.
the finesse and what does this mean? Because we're seeing the Suns, they kind of
Houston.
bailed on all the assets they gave up for KD, right? They kind of bailed on that because they
Yeah.
sacrificed a lot for it. But what Houston's real leverage, what it looks like, is the fact that they actually locked their young players on into favorable contracts. They didn't give away the Michael Porter Jr. contract. You know what I'm saying? Where it's a
No.
guaranteed 5-year deal, let's max you out. Have we potentially seen teams gonna start using the Houston Rockets as a blueprint? Like, okay, we got a nice first, top 10 pick. He's playing well. We're not gonna super max him out. We're gonna try to give him the Jalen Green deal, because this is what really gave the Rockets leverage. The Jalen Green deal, the Şengün deal. They have enough cap space to
Oh,
make
dude, did you
things
see the
happen.
Bari extension?
The Jabari extension is a favorable extension.
It's a very favorable. I think the thing that shocked me with Bari, I thought, honestly speaking, I thought he'd signed the extension like during the All Star break because he's a part of the same draft class as Chet Holmgren and Paulo Banchero. Banchero's a guaranteed pay. Chet is just gonna depend on his health. So I was surprised that Bari was willing to bite the bullet a lot sooner instead of trying to wait out and try to get a bigger deal.
They probably promised him a bigger role, but I mean, at the end of the day, like right here, right, with the Houston Rockets,
Okay.
again, Zion got his money right away, no questions asked. We're seeing Jalen Green once again. He got a shorter term deal. Is this the new blueprint for teams as a lot of talent comes in, and a lot of even the younger teams, they have a lot of guys who can shoot, who can score, who can play.
Yeah.
They have a lot of first round picks. Is this the new
I
way
also
teams
think
should
Houston's a
navigate?
different situation.
Is this the new way teams should navigate into signing their younger players after the rookie extension? Should they give them shorter term deals so they can maintain flexibility? Because imagine if Houston had maxed out Jalen Green or maxed out Şengün or just let one of them get maxed out. They wouldn't have this type of leverage to even make this trade.
No, not at all. Not only that, right now, Houston, I saw that they're re-signing a lot of their role players. Jay Shante, Aaron Wiggins, not Aaron, Aaron Holiday, Drew Holiday's brother. So they're still signing on to the role players. Steven Adams got a 3-year, 36 mil. Clint Capella got a 3-year, 21, 23 mil. So they're still able to keep a lot of their role players, sign on key role players. Houston, because of those favorable deals, have had a lot of flexibility in keeping a large portion of their last season roster and then build upon that. Obviously, I think the situation with Jalen Green and Şengün, in my opinion, or I can compare them different from, like, let's say Zion and the Pelicans or the Houston Rockets. I don't think the Houston Rockets are ever sold on Jalen Green and Şengün being first options.
But
I
wait,
think
hold on.
Şengün,
But just beyond them being sold on it, right? I think teams now are looking at the Rockets on how they moved. They gave up. They gave out a lot of team option deals where they maintain leverage, and then their young guys, they did not max them out. That's the thing with this new CBA. There's teams looking at different strategies. And, right now, especially with Michael Porter Jr., the way he got maxed out, they were forced to, ship him away. I'm not sure if they had to attach a first-round draft pick to do that. But teams don't want to be in that circumstance. That's not where you want to be, because with them giving Jalen Green and Şengün a shorter deal, that kind of opened them up to afford a mid-level guy to add on to the team. That's the difference. Like nowadays, basically what I'm asking is, are the days done where if you're a young rookie on a team that's playing well, are the days over where they're just going to max you out just because? They're going to max you out under that rookie deal. We're talking about rookie maxes.
At this point, it's like, we got to see what other teams do in the future. But at this point, I'm convinced that if you're not a borderline all-star, then like they're probably just going to give you that Şengün or Jalen Green type of deal. Because, bro, let's be honest, like Bari can pay off really big if Bari becomes a consistent shooter. If Bari's defense continues to improve, that's a steal for these Rockets. Şengün last season, despite his struggles in the playoffs, it's proven to be a steal.
True. But I could also make the argument, right? Because they have a 3rd overall pick in their bench. They have, what's his name, also coming off the
Reed Shepherd?
No, Smith Jr. is coming off their bench. I can make the argument.
Yes.
Gone are the days where you were drafted 3rd overall, 5th overall, and then you want the Jonathan Kuminga type of deal. Oh, max me out, or get close to my max out for the rookie scale extension. Like, I'm telling you, those days are done, because guys used to get maxed out if they were like a top 3 pick, averaging like anywhere 20 points per game, and whether it was impactful or not. But whether it was impactful or not, these guys were getting maxed out. And I'm telling you, those days are over. Yeah,
those days with the new salary cap, it's over. I think teams are going to be much more shrewd. And you're seeing that this offseason with a lot of teams. They're much more shrewd. It's also, I think it's benefited the organization more than it's benefited the players themselves. I think Bari's deal right now, I think a lot of people say it's overpaid. But I think long over time, you're going to see that a lot of people are going to view the Jabari Smith Jr.'s deal a lot more favorable. The Rockets have put themselves in a great position. I mean, you look at Dillon Brooks. I question how they're going to replace Dillon Brooks. I like this Dorian Finney-Smith deal. Like, Dorian Finney-Smith's going to be great for the Rockets. Someone who can shoot corner threes, play off of Kevin Durant, take on defensive assignments. The Rockets, every hole they filled, the only thing is I think they need a really backup guard. That's going to be interesting. The double big lineup will also be interesting with Capella and Adams. I assume what they're going to do with that is probably just going to have it for Jokic, where you're going to see a split minutes between Steven Adams and Capella. And the Rockets really set themselves up. I agree with you on the salary point of view. I think a lot of teams will take that approach now. It's a safer investment. Is it easier contract to trade off?
It is, but again, like you said, it's an easier contract to trade off. So is that going forward the new blueprint? Because I'm looking at LaMelo Ball. He's not that far off from being Jalen Green. He's really not that far off, but yet he was able to get his rookie scale extension and get maxed out.
I'll argue that Jalen Green is a better investment because he's a lot healthier.
Yeah, but I'm arguing teams that really want to compete might second guess fully maxing out their rookies. Let's just say you get a LaMelo Ball, right? In his exact situation, he's a top 3 pick. He's a top 3 pick.
Top 3 pick rookie of the year.
He's averaging his points or whatever, but it's not as impactful on the team winning, right? And you're gonna need someone else, maybe a power forward, maybe someone else at the wing. Our team's gonna now say, okay, LaMelo, your contract, your rookie scale contract is up. We're fully maxing you out. Or is now, because of the Rockets situation and the leverage they had to get Kevin Durant, now our team's gonna look at it and be like, we know we need someone else to put next to LaMelo Ball, so we're not gonna max him out. Now we're gonna go back and forth with him and negotiate. Because I'm telling you, the Houston Rockets are showing other teams, hey, don't max out the LaMelo Balls. Don't max out whoever is the top guy for the Portland Trail Blazers. If you guys have a rookie that's just getting points and you guys are not winning, it's 2-3 years, and you know you need another 2-3 players. Maxing those guys out is a bad deal today. You cannot do that. That's if you want to win.
Especially when you have the leverage of restricted free agents.
Yeah, but it depends, especially if those teams want to win. Maxing out your rookies right away that are not, your rookie would have to be on the LeBron James level to max them out, or like the Luka level. If it's not one of those guys, maxing them out is questionable.
Bro, by
Maxing
this
them out is
logic, the
fully
only
questionable.
player from this draft class right now, like that's due for a pay, right? Bankero, Chet. The only one I view worth probably maxing out is Bankero, if I'm keeping it real.
Yo, you know what? That's let's just go to that. Let's go to Paolo. Is it gonna be worth it for the Magic knowing that they got all these players? I mean, they're still under, man. Their salary is not really high at all. It's at 153 million.
Yeah, they're very flexible.
Yeah, they're very flexible. But the thing is, right? I'm looking at whose contract is gonna be coming up.
Franz is Bankero's contract coming up.
Yeah, Bankero. That's really all they
Suggs is on a
have.
comfortable deal. I
That's,
think Franz is a little expensive.
yeah. Then what about Mo? They're not gonna mess with Mo. It doesn't look like it.
Right now, I think they're gonna let Mo walk.
Yeah, because Mo might actually bargain a decent kind of mid-tier 28 million a year. He might actually qualify for that. But unless I mean, if the Magic really want to get like another wing in there, I don't know if they want to get an AD in there or someone of that caliber. Maxing out
Anthony
Paolo.
Davis caliber?
Say that again.
Whose caliber?
I would say around the AD. I'm not saying AD specifically, but I'm talking about like a 10-year or 8-year player who has playoff experience. If they really want to go to that next level and add that guy, man, that maxing out Paolo on that rookie scale extension, especially with you got Anthony Black coming up by 2027.
Black is what, third year?
Yeah, but his rookie scale contract is gonna end in 27. Like, it gets complicated when you start maxing out your top guy, like for the full rookie scale max. It gets complicated to add people to that, and then you're already paying Franz. So man, Franz is getting see like okay, prime example right here. The Magic last year, they would have renegotiated Franz a little bit different had his extension been up this season. Like, I don't know if it makes sense to pay a rookie scale contract where Franz is going to be making $51 million in 29-30. Or he's going to be making 47 mil in 28-29. You know what I'm saying? Even 27-28, him making 44 mil. And then of course, you're going to have to pay Paolo by then. Where's the room to put another like player in there?
You have to make those kind of Desmond Bain type trades.
Oh, and then they're paying Desmond Bain now. So this is where it gets complicated because the real money that they could save is in between the Franz extension and the Paolo extension. They could save enough money where they can get another mid-level guy in there. But if these guys want to fully get maxed out and they're really stuck on that, then these teams might as well tell them, hey, it's a possibility we might not be able to compete.
Yeah, that's plausible. But I also think they have a lot of younger assets too, right? So they have a lot of tradable assets. Tristan De Silva, I believe. Is Caleb Houston due for a contract? I saw they let Gary.
Yeah, but they would have to nail. See, look at Oklahoma City. They nail on their draft picks. Like Sam Presti's been nailing James Harden, Kevin Durant, Westbrook. Drafted all three of these guys back to back to back to back. And then look, he did it again, right? He drafted all these guys that's in OKC right now. They only picked up Hartenstein. They traded for Caruso. If you really want to compete with a low salary team, you got to nail on those draft picks. If you're not a Sam Presti, then you have to reconsider maxing out Apollo, maxing out a Franz. You're going to have to reconsider this if you're looking at the cap sheet and the way this new CBA got the NBA structured going forward past 2025-26.
Let me ask you this, right? Jalen Green, for example, did not show real success, right? For 3 years, he was on the Rockets. 3-4 years, he was on the Rockets.
Correct.
But for example, Bankero, right? he's shown you impact since his second season. Second, now he's in his third. Back-to-back seasons, playoff appearances. Last season, if he didn't go down, I assume Orlando probably would have landed fourth, fifth seed. At that point, like, what does a bargaining power look like for Paulo Banchero? Because at that point, you've shown yourself that
Mm-hmm.
you are someone that can turn a franchise around. Because
Right
Orlando
now,
wasn't really shit
right now for
before he
him,
came to
he
this
would get
team.
the full max. He would get the full max because you know why? The Magic trapped themselves already by just giving Franz the deal that they gave him making 47 million,
Yeah,
51 million at the end of his rookie scale deal. So now they're gonna have to max out Paulo. What I'm saying is that now that the Magic, playing Monday morning quarterback, seeing how Houston kind of structured their situation, I know they're looking back like, fuck, we should have negotiated with Franz, and then that would have gave us the leverage to negotiate with Paulo and then really get another piece with the money we saved.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because you look at Brunson took a pay cut, SGA took a pay cut. So what is Orlando trying to do here? They're just trying to have the Franz and Paulo show with them possibly just getting eliminated in the first round, not having quite enough pieces or not needing what they really need, like another really kind of that guy wing player that can help them out, or they're just gonna
They
be
need a
in the
guard.
mix.
Yeah.
It gets weird. It gets complicated, but it's too late. They already maxed out Franz. But I think going forward, a team like if Charlotte was actually trying to compete, I would say Charlotte,
Washington.
the Washington Wizards. Okay, that's perfect. The Wizards is prime example. They're not gonna max out a lot of these guys. They're gonna look to do the Houston Rockets blueprint on this team. This team is actually they
Well,
have the
the
leverage to
guy,
do so.
I like the Washington Wizards' future. I'm gonna be honest.
Me too.
I know it's a little
Me too.
sidetrack, but I like their future a lot.
Me too. But you know what? Their future is signaling. It kind of wait. I want to say this. Their future is signifying the future of the NBA, where you have these teams that they're in the lottery from year to year sometimes, but then when they get players, you see all of a sudden, this team has they have a bunch of guys that can. These guys can ball. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
like Orlando. They're like a younger version of OKC that just won the championship. They got a lot of guys. And this is the future of the league. You really got to be that guy to dominate.
Tradable veterans, right? On bad contracts that you can eventually flip
What,
since
what,
they're
what do you mean?
expiring. Like Middleton. Like Middleton's expiring, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But we
but
can all agree Middleton is overpaid.
no, but
That is a contract that they could milk out assets for. You know what I mean?
yeah, but what I'm saying is like forget Middleton and their vet guys. I'm talking about like all the because they have a lot of
Yeah.
young guys on this team that you can
Yeah.
see like they
AJ
drafted.
Johnson,
Yeah, they drafted
Fournier.
in the first round. They can't
Um,
they can't fully max out these guys. Let's say Alex Sarr was playing good, but he's not dominating. I would say in the OCBA they would max his ass out. But now
yeah.
in this current NBA, they're not gonna max. Even if he was getting like 24, 25 a night and the Wizards were still in the lottery, they're not gonna max you out. They're just not. It just doesn't make sense if they want to compete. But if the Wizards want
Okay,
to
so let me
continue,
ask you this.
wait, hold on. If the Wizards want to continue and give him the Bradley Beal deal, then go ahead. They'll end up like John Wall and Bradley Beal, just getting paid and eliminated.
Let me ask you this, right? What about let's say Jalen Williams for the Oklahoma City Thunder? You make all defensive team, all star, all NBA team. I don't see a world where he's not getting paid a crazy like his second contract won't be crazy.
I see a world where he's gonna take a slight cut because look at SGA, he took the cut. So how is Jalen Williams gonna fully max out his rookie scale extension? Like that's what I'm saying. We're about to see guys who actually qualify for the money take less money. So it's a trickle down. It's a trickle down. We're about to see who's really serious about winning. Who's really serious about competing. No one's telling these guys to take a $40 million pay cut or take a Brunson pay cut, but they're gonna have to take like a good maybe 4 or 5 million off their contract per year. That's if they're
You have to
serious.
sign kind of like the AJ Mitchell type of players, the other Jalen Williams type of players.
Yeah. That little 12 to $13 million a year player. Yeah, if you follow the Rockets blueprint, the way they structure Jalen Green and Şengün is to have enough money to get that 13, 14 million dollar a year player that can help this team. And some of these teams like the Orlando Magic, it might be too late for them, but again, this is why I always bring up the salary cap sheet. You can kind of see what's going to take place for these teams. Unless Paolo has like a SGA type of jump, they're going to be kind of stuck paying guys a ton of money, and their owners are not going to pay luxury tax. If they had the owners that wanted to pay that, then cool. But they don't have that type of ownership. So
Nah, small market franchise, they're not paying those kind of
so
prices.
what's the deal? What's the future for Orlando? They're gonna grab a couple of vets for the next 2 years, try to ball out and get into the finals or whatever, and then after that they're stuck paying Paolo and Franz 50, 47, 44 million dollars. So that's almost $100 million in cap space between two players. This is where this shit gets complicated.
Yeah, that's where it gets hard.
Yeah, it gets real tricky. And that's where Sam Presti comes in. If you have a Sam Presti, you might be able to get away with that. But most teams don't have a Sam Presti. They're landing on one guy and they're landing on one draft pick, but they're fucking up the next three. Most teams are like that.
That's what I think I got to give credit to Sam Presti. I was thinking about it recently, man, with kind of Masai Ujiri, right? Masai, top of the world, 2019. You remember the phrase, and Masai you can trust, and all those phrases that got popular. What I got to give Sam Presti credit for is what he saw after 2019 with kind of the project kind of coming to an end with Russell Westbrook and Paul George. What he was able to sell owners, because let's be honest, owners look to save money. What I gotta give him credit for was what he was able to sell owners was the fact that you save a lot of money, I'll get you these draft picks, and we could actually compete without me having to spend too much. Because one thing about Oklahoma, it's throughout their franchise history, they've always been a cheap organization. Prime example being the James Harden contract situation, where it eventually led to him going to Houston. So I think that's one thing Sam Presti was kind of ahead of the curve, or Sam Presti exposed that this is how you do dealings, especially with a small market franchise with no Steve Ballmer money or no Steve Ballmer money kind of organization. This is how you kind of do dealings. You can't be overly aggressive where you burn out, but you can sell an owner on the idea of potential. Because I guarantee Oklahoma's owner, more than Shea Gildas, they probably like those picks. It's like, oh shit, we save a lot of money.
Facts. And it's really gonna come down to that. And gone are the days of the mom and pop franchises really, I don't want to say affording to be an NBA owner, but right now there's some people that's really questionable to still be there, and one of them might be the Indiana Pacers owner, in a very similar situation as the Lakers, where they're kind of mom and pop. They don't have any net worth outside of the team, really. The team is like a primary business. And you could see how the what's his name, the Miles Turner contract played out, where they could have paid him that money, but they elected to save themselves from paying $2 million worth of luxury tax, which isn't a lot, and then be out of it next year. But hey, it is what it is. But going back to the teams kind of being stuck with these rookies coming off these extensions, you don't want to end up like the Toronto Raptors. Like, if you look at them right now, they got just a bunch of guys that they're paying $20 million plus for. You know what I mean? They got way too many players that they're fishing in that medium market a little bit too long. You know what I mean? They got Ingram, quickly, RJ, and it's like, damn, at some point Scotty Barnes' new money's gonna kick in.
They paid Jakob Poeltl recently $104 million.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at their salary.
Oh, my bad. Continue on.
No, I was gonna say, I'm looking at their salary cap sheet right now, and wow, they got 2 years next season and the season after, where they're at $181 million. They're gonna be $7 million off from. They're about $6 million off from being at the luxury tax line, and that's without them filling up their roster.
Bro, one thing that surprised with the Raptors, I think they're in a situation. Hold on, by the way, Did we move on from you have any like last thoughts? I guess we could just move on from Houston. Any last thoughts?
No. Pretty much with Houston, all I have to say is that I believe they're setting the blueprint for teams not to go all out on the LaMelo balls. Hey, LaMelo, you're up for contract extension. Hey, let's talk about you taking a little haircut less every year so we can have enough money saved up for a mid-level exception. And then they would do the same thing with what's his name? Brandon. What's the other guy
B Miller,
yeah, Brandon
Brendan
Miller.
Miller.
They would do the same thing for Brandon Miller. They'll be like, hey, take a
Yeah,
few years, take a little haircut every year, and then we're gonna combine the money and go get a veteran guy we can pay 14 to 15 million a year for to help you guys get to that next level. Like this is the way the NBA is now, because these rookies they're gonna have deals where even with that haircut they're gonna be making 45 mil plus.
and they're still making crazy money.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so it's like
Yeah.
if SGA takes a pay cut and Jalen Brunson takes a pay cut, there's gonna be a trickle down effect even to the younger players. It's
Because they're
bound
all
to
towards the
happen.
same standard.
Yeah.
And let
So
me ask you, where do you view Houston in kind of the Western Conference setting? Like as of right now, let's say the season starts tomorrow. Where do you kind of view them in your opinion?
I gotta wait on
And
that because I'm gonna wait on that because I gotta see how Houston is gonna use Kevin Durant, how they're gonna use him. That's very key. And also Fred Van Vliet. Are they gonna did they re-sign him? Like
they resigned him, they extended him
they extended him to what?
2 years. Um,
Oh, so they're betting 2 years on KD.
yeah, they're resigning. I think Kevin Durant talked about taking a pay cut.
Oh yeah. 2 years, 2 years, 50 million. So he's taking 25 a year.
Yeah,
Fred is taking 20.
not
So
bad of
yeah,
a deal.
the Fred Van Vliet situation, I would say, man, they're really betting on that for KD because
Yeah,
KD at this point, I would just say it's pretty much a catch and shoot, and hopefully he doesn't fall in love with trying to go ISO and take guys off the dribble last second and make a shot. Because I
I
don't think
think
Kevin
Houston's gonna
Durant
have
at
to
this
move the
point
ball, man.
is that efficient at it in game speed.
No,
I
I
don't
think
think
they're
so.
gonna be a team that moves the ball, man. I think that's gonna be the identity of the Houston Rockets. Imi Odaka takes pride in his defense. He's surrounded him with good defenders. Obviously, you can see that with Bari, Amin Thompson, Dorian Finney-Smith, so the Atari Eason. So the Rockets are gonna be a dog team. I think Kevin Durant's fit will be interesting. Obviously, I want to know what their guard depth will look like and how they're gonna work the double big lineup and how they kind of like last season we saw the double big lineup work, so it'll be interesting to see how that transfer over this season. But overall, the Rockets they've done good. They're aggressive. With the West continuing to improve, and I think we're gonna talk about the Nuggets later and the other teams around Memphis. They done a solid job. I give them an A in my grading.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting on how this Kevin Durant, because
Well,
honestly, the
yeah,
NBA has an issue with players not knowing when to age out. Like, I feel like right now, there's a few players where they're in that threshold of just like, yeah, you're a legend, but are you really impacting the league? We've seen you kind of have a lot of questionable playoff losses
Durant is
that,
still a top 15 player, man. He
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
like
he
Carmelo
definitely is.
Anthony,
But when you see him get
Oklahoma.
swept
Yeah,
by, you know, I would say
Anthony Edwards.
a less polished Anthony Edwards. Like his game is not fully polished yet for the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like he still has a few things he needs to fix in his game, like on a playoff
Yeah, of
level.
course.
And when you see someone like that sweep Kevin Durant, and you just see the athleticism, and you're like, damn, bro. Like some of these guys are like kind of hanging around too long. Like they could still be in
Yeah,
the
I do.
league, but their role is really the third option.
The role is a second option. I think Durant can be a first option, but I don't think he could be a first option night in and night out.
What I think the Rockets are gonna do, they're gonna use him as a decoy on a lot of shit. Like it's gonna be better
Yeah, I think the
spacing.
Rockets are going to continue on the defensive reputation.
Yeah, but it's gonna be better spacing for a lot of their other guys. They're
Bro, I
gonna have
think
better
what it
spacing to
is,
operate.
they're going to have Durant really close out games, but I think he'll just like scroll through the first three and a half quarters. You know what I mean?
Hey, this is Durant's
Like,
last chance. This is
yeah, I
really his
think this
last
is an
chance.
ideal spot. The Suns had too many holes. The Rockets, they're very good at the wing positions. Another player I'm kind of interested in is Cam Whitmore. I want to know if he's traded or if he's kept. I'm leaning towards he's traded. I
hmm
wonder what team bites because he's going to be an interesting player to look out for.
hmm What do you think about the Suns and Kevin Durant's relationship? Because things kind of got a little. It's a little weird in the light because the Suns told, they told people that the Minnesota Timberwolves would be interested in Kevin Durant, and then the Timberwolves they kind of went behind their back and found out from Kevin Durant's team that he never even stated that. So the Suns were
Yeah, I
kind of
think
making
what
up shit.
the Suns were going for a big package with Durant. I think Durant really held their arms in negotiations because it seems like they shut down every negotiation. Um, for whatever reason, everyone dragged the Memphis Grizzlies throughout the rumors. For whatever reason, I thought that was kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like every media had just wanted to shit on the Memphis Grizzlies for for God knows what reason. And then it seemed like with Minnesota seems like I don't know, some fun Suns people in the media, people in their front office, they were trying to look for a Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert package. That one surprised me. I'm like, bro, you got to be stupid to give that big of a haul for Kevin Durant.
I mean, it goes to show how desperate they are.
Yeah, they try to be aggressive sellers, and teams aren't buying like they used to, bro. I think a lot of, I won't even say that because you look at the Desmond Bain, Mikal Bridges situation. I just don't think teams will buy into a 35-year-old, 35, 36 year
Man,
old
I think
power
I think
small
KD
forward
is
man.
38, gonna be 38 this season.
Yeah, he's one of the oldest players in the league.
Yeah, so it's like, what are you really selling for? You selling for only a 2 year window?
2 year rental. Exactly. And someone who's not really in a lockdown. So what exactly is the gamble for you to like put all your chips in one player? I think that's what the Suns kind of thought. I think the Suns thought like teams were just as stupid as them. But to the Suns' credit, they were able to finesse off of this deal. In the draft, they did good. I think the South Sudanese kid, I'm rooting for him. I think he can be a solid player. Mark Williams was a good trade for what it is. Player with back problems. He's not going to be a crazy contract to re-sign. So I got to give the Suns their credit. They did good.
We'll see how it plays out for them because it's a very thin line right now between competing for a championship and rebuilding because of the new CBA.